Hey everyone, welcome back to Self-Serving Skillet, where all this month we are back in the kitchen, but we're not gonna turn on a single burner because this month we're going to try to feed ourselves without using heat. That's right, lack of heat. Heat and time, as I always say, are the most important ingredients in cooking, and we're still utilizing heat. We're just utilizing lack of heat. If you remember back to science class, there's no such thing as cold. It's just lack of heat. So we're gonna use the heat that's ambient in the room, or I guess just our body heat to digest this food. But enough tomfoolery. Now we are going to make a 7-layer dip. We're gonna use the sweet barbecue sauce that we made on Patreon, along with our 2 other barbecue sauces that we're going to be using throughout the month of July. Now you might be saying, Curtis, you cooked that. I did, but I used a little cheat code. I still did not heat up my apartment. You'll have to check that out to see what I did. And in the interest of not cooking, I did get a request last December even. I said, what do you want to do in the new year? And someone said, I'd like to see how to use some canned goods. And while there's nothing wrong with that, there's certainly a merit to cooking it yourself. We don't want to heat up the house now. It's a perfect time to do that. So I'm going to use this can of chicken, and this is 12.5 ounces or 354 grams of chicken. And this is going to be the base of our dip. Just going to drain the water here. Now read the label. Sometimes it does have salt added. So if you're going to season, wash your hands by the way. If you're going to season, make sure you know what's already in there. And all I want is to get this chicken sort of coated in barbecue sauce without it being swimming. So I'm just gonna move that around with my hands, and I think I have enough here. That was maybe about a 1/4 cup, a 1/3 cup of barbecue sauce, and that's just gonna be the base of my 7-layer dip. Layer 1. Second layer, I wanna get myself about a cup of sour cream and about a 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar. I used all my apple cider vinegar when I made the barbecue sauce, so I'm using sherry vinegar. Don't be afraid to substitute, to just do thought experiments as to how is this gonna turn out? How is this gonna make it different? You can always use white vinegar. That's just going to make it a little more tart, a little more acidic without adding too much flavor to it. Sherry is made of fruit, so I think it's a natural substitution for something like apple cider vinegar, and I actually prefer it. It's just a little more expensive, so I usually want to go with the apple cider vinegar. But we want to go with about a 1/3 cup of that. And then before we get anything else going in there, I want to combine the two. Just make sure everything is really put together. And then about a big spoon of Worcester sauce. Then we're gonna get in there with a little smoked paprika. This could be regular paprika if you like. If you don't like that smoky flavor, I love it. About a little spoon each of the smoked paprika, garlic powder or granulated garlic, and onion powder or granulated onion. And then I want about a little spoon of a hot sauce. Now I have this wonderful habanero and garlic hot sauce, this pickled habanero hot sauce. Habanero goes really well with sweet things, so I'm pairing it with my sweet barbecue sauce. Gonna get a little bit of that in there, mix everything up, and then that will be my 2nd layer. Our 3rd layer is going to be a can of beans, and you can definitely make your beans. Remember, we're just trying not to heat up the house. It's a perfect opportunity for a can of beans, maybe something that you canned yourself, maybe something that has come from the freezer. 4th layer, I'm just gonna take this brick of jack cheese and shred it up and make a layer of cheese. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. And on top of that, I'm gonna cut up a couple of pickles. Pickles, barbecue sauce, some nice acid, some nice sweet, some nice creamy. This is just gonna be wonderful. On top of that, layer number six, red onion. I wanna dice these kind of fine. We could blanch them a little bit to take the crunch off. We're not cooking today, but you absolutely could, and this will make it a lot better. And layer number 7, I'm just gonna go over the top with some green onions. And then we serve. And there we have our barbecue 7-layer dip. Now this can work with corn chips or potato chips. Would be really nice because they're both gonna have a slightly different feel with that barbecue. Let's dig in here. I'm gonna go for this middle, or this edge section. Oh yeah, got everything. I'm gonna go fishing for a little bit more barbecue. There we go. That's a colossal bite. You guys are gonna let me have this in the comments. All right. All right. Sweet barbecue, really very nice. The sour cream with all of our spices, the Worcester sauce, the hot sauce, the habanero sauce, especially that sherry vinegar really comes through and highlights the barbecue sauce. We have the beans, which are a really nice touch, cheese, which gives it the substantial, the substance here. And then we have this really cool mix of onions and pickles on top, which makes this like a barbecue sandwich, almost a nice like pork slider with all the kind of savoriness on top. One thing I am gonna add, I'm gonna take my sweet barbecue sauce back out and I'm just gonna drizzle on top, maybe a couple lines, because the barbecue sauce isn't coming through as much as I want it to, but it's still delicious, and this is gonna take it to the next level. If you are into non-cooking cookery, no heat added, I'm gonna find a couple options for you on the show. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but they're definitely out there. You don't use the stovetop for everything. I'm gonna put them right here and here. Check out the Patreon channel. Check out this barbecue sauce, 3 different barbecue sauces from one base. And if you want to support the show for no additional cost to you, I'm gonna put everything that I'm using here on the episode in the description below. It's going to be an affiliate link, and you don't even need to buy those things. All you need to do is click on the link, and whatever you buy off of Amazon within 24 hours, I get a commission on. Doesn't cost you a thing. Great way to support the show without committing to a Patreon subscription. See you next week. Get in the kitchen, make yourself something amazing. I'm gonna start with 1 stick or half a cup of softened butter. Nice one, Curtis.